Africa, the cradle of life, the birthplace of civilization, and home to more than 2 million animal species, 10 of which are magnificent wildcats. Uncover the unique environments they have conquered, the ways they have expertly adapted to their surroundings, and the challenges they face in their epic fight for survival. Join us on a journey of discovery through the vast plains of this great continent as we face some of the deadliest apex predators on the planet. This is Wildcats, Africa. Beautiful and beguiling, the continent of Africa is vastly diverse in both landscape and wildlife. Spanning over 8 million kilometers squared, the savannahs of Africa are home to some of the world's most wondrous and fearsome creatures. A cheetah lies in wait in the grasslands, able to run up to 130 kilometers per hour. A majestic spotted African leopard lounges leisurely in the trees high above. And on the expansive plains sits a pride of lions, yawning and basking in the sun. All are perfectly adapted to their environment in size, strength, speed, and force of bite. Yet they remain threatened by the effects of climate change and human intervention. Habitat loss remains the greatest threat to wildlife throughout the world, particularly in Africa, where the challenges are more significant than ever. The International Union for Conservation of Nature is the global authority on the status of the natural world and the measures needed to safeguard it. They have a red list of threatened species, which over the years has become the world's central source of information on the global extinction risk status of animals, fungi, and plant species. Ranking species across the globe from unknown to extinct. In this episode of Wildcats, our majestic felines are labeled as either of least concern or vulnerable in the wild. Over 70,000 species in the wild are considered of least concern, having a widespread and abundant population. Meanwhile, over 16,000 different species across the globe are considered vulnerable, with 30 to 50% of their populations having declined in the last 10 years. Using this list and its categories, we will find out what pressures these wildcats face, while also revealing all there is to know about these fascinating and fierce felines of the African savanna. As the sun rises on the plains of sub-Saharan Africa, another day on the vibrant and tumultuous savanna is beginning. On the open grasslands, herds of wildebeest graze. And in the swaying brush, the fastest land mammal on Earth lies in wait. The cheetah. Invisible to the naked eye, a 72-kilogram cheetah is on the prowl. Masters in the art of camouflage, the cheetah's spotted coat allows it to merge effortlessly into its surroundings. It's been a while since her cub's last meal. This cheetah is on the lookout for prey. She has her eyes set on a newborn wildebeest calf. Ability to dash from 0 to 130 kilometers in mere seconds, outrunning her prey is of little concern. The cheetah's light build, long thin legs, and lengthy tail enable it to be the fastest mammal on land. With her strong legs propelling her forwards, the cheetah makes a tactical run through the herd of wildebeest. Toppling her prey is vital if her cubs are to survive the week. Unable to fend for themselves, they are solely reliant on their mother. Failure is not an option. With a precise leap and her long teeth and sharp molars at the ready, this attack is lethal. Dinner is served for both herself and her cubs. In a year or so, she will have taught her cubs to be self-sufficient, leaving them to start their own solitary lives as adult cheetahs. But until then, they will need to learn as much as they can from their mother. Watching how she deploys her stalk and ambush tactics as she hunts down their much-needed food. On the other side of the savannah, a lone male is hungry. He needs to eat at least 3 kilograms of food every day. Today, luck has not been on his side. With his energy depleting, this is the cheetah's last chance to secure a kill. A herd of Thompson's gazelle lay ahead. One mother has just given birth to a newborn calf. Weakened by her recent labor, the cheetah has spotted the perfect prey. Meanwhile, the gazelle graze, blissfully unaware that one of their lives is soon to come to an end. With its prey in sight, the cheetah has made a decision. With a stalk and ambush approach, the cheetah needs to get as close to its prey as possible before making a well-calculated attack. The chase is on. Only capable of keeping up his maximum speed for a minute, it is crucial he makes his move, and soon. The cheetah leaps through the air, its 1.5-meter long body landing on the hind of the gazelle. With a bite force of up to 500 pounds per square inch, its jaw creates a vice-like grip. By clamping down on its windpipe, the cheetah suffocates its prey. But sheer desperation and hunger are fueling this lone hunter, and his resilience has paid off. Finally, he can eat. Recognized across the globe for its speed, with the ability to run up to 130 kilometers per hour, this is the most advantageous asset a cheetah has. It not only allows the cheetah to blindside their prey, but makes it virtually impossible for any predator to catch them. But even its exceptional speed cannot protect it against the perils of climate change and habitat destruction. The IUCN has labeled these talented and beautiful creatures vulnerable in the wild. Not only does human-caused destruction affect these species, but their own genealogy poses a threat. They face increased infant mortality and difficulties with reproduction, with only 20% of cheetahs breeding successfully in captivity. As a result, the cheetah population has been slowly decreasing over the past years. Yet conservation efforts across Africa are helping to preserve and protect cheetahs in their natural environment. With efforts such as these, there is hope for the cheetah yet. For now, its unparalleled speed, excellent camouflage, and powerful bite force mean it remains a deadly predator in the savannahs of Africa. In the African savanna, trees are far and few between. Due to little rainfall in the dry season, there are more vibrant grasslands than towering woodlands. Nonetheless, they are the favorite perch of the most elegant wildcat on the African continent. The African leopard. As the sun sets on the grasslands of sub-Saharan Africa, a leopard has just secured its dinner. Disappearing amongst the underbrush, the leopard's coat provides the perfect cover to prevent anyone from stealing her prey. Carcass held tight in her jaws, she begins her ascent. Her sheer strength is evident here as she hoists the 23-kilogram carcass up the tree. Her strong legs and sharp claws allow her to climb effortlessly, prey still intact. Her tail provides balance as she perches her large 60-kilogram form on a branch, her claws having pierced the bark of the tree to allow for a steady and successful ascent. Lions and packs of hyenas can kill leopards, but more commonly, they like to steal their prey. But this high up, this leopard is well protected. No lion or hyena can disturb her here. She can enjoy her dinner in peace. Native to more than 35 countries in Africa, leopards are widespread and well suited to their environments. They lead solitary lives and are incredibly self-sufficient. But in order for the animal kingdom to thrive, all species must procreate. Once a year, these incredibly territorial creatures allow another leopard onto their turf. Once a partner is chosen, they remain together for only 5 days, mating every 15 minutes. They can mate up to 250 times over this period. Once their mating ritual is over, they part ways. As solitary breeders, the only long-term bond an African leopard encounters is that between a leopardess and her cubs. But the mother will only raise her cubs for 2 years before leaving them to fend for themselves. Laying low for the night. Leopards will find a comfortable spot on a branch of a tree. They will need their energy for the following morning, as another day on the African savanna awaits. In the early morning sun, a leopard is on the prowl for breakfast. With much prey to choose from, the savanna becomes its personal buffet. Where other large cat populations have diminished, the African leopard has thrived. Through the millennia, the leopard has developed an eclectic diet. preying on anything from rodents and birds to fish, warthogs, and gazelles. When food is scarce, the leopard adapts, going for less desirable but more abundant prey. In this instance, the leopard's eyes have become too big for its belly. Eventually, he opts to retreat from this prickly prey, wandering away to lick its now rather spiky wounds. On the whole, African leopards are expert hunters, excelling in brute strength, jaw power, and impressive leaps. They can take down a gazelle just as easily as they can catch a fish in their jaws. Armed with a bite force of 700 pounds per square inch, their bite force is lethal, helping them to take down the largest and the smallest of foes. It is this ability to adapt that has led to the African leopard being considered one of the world's most resilient large carnivores. As night falls on the savannah, the African leopard is in its element. Under the cover of darkness, they remain better undetected from prey. While able to see 7 times better at night than humans. Perching on tree branches, amidst rocky plains, and in the underbrush, its prey never sees it coming. African leopards remain severely threatened by habitat fragmentation, prey-based declines, and trophy hunters. This has led to the IUCN labeling African leopards as vulnerable in the wild. Leopards have been hunted for their skin for centuries. Their coats become trophies for illegal hunters or are sold on the underground markets for upwards of $100,000. But habitat fragmentation and decline in prey have been the most detrimental to the African leopard population. Prey species are increasingly under threat from the unsustainable bushmeat trade, thus affecting the fragile ecosystems of wild Africa. And in the face of habitat loss, leopards remain virtually defenseless. As a result, the African leopard population has become heavily restricted to conservation areas. With habitat loss affecting 85% of all threatened species, these conservation areas are more important than ever. Protecting prey and predator alike to maintain the fragile equilibrium of the savannahs of Africa. The leopard is vital to maintaining the delicate biodiversity of the African savanna. ensuring prey species do not overpopulate and destroy the habitats they live in. For now, the African leopard continues to play its part in the circle of life, consuming prey, leading a solitary life, and finding comfort in the branches of the trees it so much favors. The big wildcats of Africa are not the only ones that roam the vast savannas. There are also some smaller, well-adapted, and equally formidable wildcats. Meet the serval. In relation to its body size, the serval has the longest legs and largest ears of any wildcat. They're extant. Like a giraffe, their coat provides effective camouflage against predators, but it also allows them to stay hidden from their prey. Their ears are expertly adapted to their incognito hunting tactics. They can pinpoint prey with unparalleled precision. They are able to track creatures that live underground. Using stalk and ambush tactics, they can pounce on prey before it even suspects them, making them methodical and efficient killers. From the tips of their ears to the paws on their feet, the serval is perfectly adapted to hunt undetected on the open battlefield of the savanna. These smaller felines tend to avoid areas populated by humans. Hunted for their coats, they have adapted to roam predominantly in the grasslands, where they can stay hidden and have access to an abundance of prey. From rodents and birds, to reptiles, frogs, and insects, they are content to live a solitary and simple life in the African savanna. On the open grasslands of the African savanna, a pride of lions basks in the sunlight. Resting on the elevated rocks of vast plains of the savanna, they are trying to cool down in the oppressive heat of sub-Saharan Africa. The alpha of the pride's mane shifting in the breeze. The lion. The kings and queens of the savanna. Traveling in prides of up to 40 members, these are the mighty lions of Africa. Recognizable across the globe, these majestic creatures boast a distinctive mane and a vicious roar that can be heard for miles around. Weighing up to an immense 190 kilos and measuring close to 2.1 meters in length, the lion instills both fear and wonder. Female lions do most of the hunting, while the males protect the pride. The lionesses must provide for their pride members in order to keep everyone strong and healthy. Their athletic bodies supply them with the stealth and speed needed for a successful hunt. Able to run up to speeds of 80 kilometers per hour, and with teeth designed to tear at the ripped flesh, they can topple their prey in seconds. However, with a preference for larger mammals, the hunt can take much longer. Using stalk and ambush tactics, they weave imperceptibly through the grasslands of sub-Saharan Africa. Some lions will wait for up to an hour for the right moment to attack to present itself. But once it does, they strike with immense force and precision, engaging in short, violent attacks. At close range, these altercations are almost always fatal. With a jaw power of 650 pounds per square inch, the prey's only hope of survival is if the lion does not sink its teeth in. For once they do, it is virtually impossible for the prey to get out of their hold. The lion's strong jaw muscles, coupled with its extra-large canines, mean that the prey is unlikely to escape without losing a chunk of flesh or two. A lion's teeth are long and thick, set back slightly to avoid breaking, and can grow up to 2.4 inches in length. They are one of the greatest assets the lion has, especially on the battlefield, which is the African savanna. Not all battles are faced alone. Lions live and often hunt as a pride, especially when taking down larger mammals that graze on the savanna. Today, this pride has its sights set on an adult giraffe. In collaborative hunts, the lioness always initiates the kill. She sinks her sharp claws into the giraffe's hind. But it will take more than one lioness to topple this 6-meter-tall giraffe. A giraffe's long legs can generate a kick with an impact of 2,000 pounds per square inch. Their kick has the ability to not only kill a lion, but decapitate one. In a one-on-one fight, the giraffe would likely win. But against a pride of lions this size, it stands little chance. Eventually, the giraffe succumbs to its injuries. The pride has won out. Tonight they will eat well, feasting together on one of the heartiest meals in the savanna. Lions are the only wildcats on the planet that travel and hunt in prides. They are incredibly protective of their territory, as they specifically choose areas that contain all the natural resources they need. The male lions defend and mark their territory by urinating, roaring menacingly to warn off intruders, and chasing off any animal that encroaches on their turf. Lions are skilled in the art of combat. When protecting its pride against rival coalitions, the alpha is likely to engage with an opposing pride male. Large muscular bulk of a male's body ensures these altercations end in slaughter. The intent is to topple the alpha and kill his cubs, taking over its pride and its territory. Lions can reign over many prides and territories, often with other males, such as cousins or brothers. Fighting off rival males that threaten a lion's pride and territory is the main danger lions face in the wild. As these battles almost always end in a fatality. Lions often hunt under the cover of darkness. The night sky allows them to engage their prey at much closer distances. From wildebeest, gazelles, and Cape buffalo, they can remain undetected by larger prey. Their stealth is already unparalleled, But with darkness on their side, they become an even deadlier foe. Able to become practically invisible to unsuspecting prey as they lay low in the grasslands, assessing their prey before engaging in a flawless attack. In the wet summer season, the African savanna can see up to 30 inches of rainfall a year. This reprieve from the scorching heat allows the grasslands and its inhabitants to thrive and grow. More sustenance is provided for the herbivores of the plains, enabling their populations to flourish and the circle of life to continue. Mere months later, the arid winter season will return, bringing with dry grasslands, oppressive heat, and perilous bushfires. But habitat loss, declining prey, climate change, and wildlife trade remain the leading cause behind the lion's depleting population. With only 23,000 African lions left in the wild, the IUCN has labeled them vulnerable. Over 50% of wild lions remaining today share their landscape with humans. In some areas, there is conflict, but in others, they live in harmony. Some rural communities see themselves as they see lions, noble, superior, and formidable. A symbol of strength across the globe, lions will always be seen as the kings and queens of the animal kingdom. As the sun sets on the plains of this great continent, some wildcats will lay down their heads for the night, while others will continue on their pursuit for sustenance. The animal kingdom is one that never sleeps. And as darkness creeps across the grasslands, some will find success in the shadows. Others will fall prey to the sharp teeth and powerful jaws of these menacing wildcats. The circle of life is eternal. For another day, the fragile ecosystems of these expansive habitats will remain intact. The Americas, once home to some of the world's most ancient civilizations. From the southern Cape to the northernmost shores of Canada. Inhabited by over 1 billion human beings. These are the vast continents of North and South America. Rich in biodiversity, they are home to over 20,000 species of animal. 14 of them are wildcats. Uncover the unique environments they have conquered, the ways in which they have expertly adapted to their surroundings, and the challenges they face in their epic fight for survival. Join us on a journey of discovery through the vast mountains and jungles of these continents, as we face some of the deadliest apex predators on the planet. This is Wildcats, the Americas. Spanning over 40 million kilometers squared, the American continents are vastly diverse in both landscape and wildlife. From the snowy peaks of the Rocky Mountains, down to the green sea of trees of the Amazon rainforest, some of the world's most wondrous and fearsome creatures lurk in these habitats. Small but fearless, a lone bobcat pads through the snow. A cat with many names in different cultures, the puma, bathes in the sunlight, resting before its nighttime hunt. And in the branches of the majestic Amazon rainforest sits the striking jaguar, belly full after a day of successful hunting. All perfectly adapted to their environment in size, strength, speed, and force of bite. Yet they remain threatened by the effects of climate change and human intervention. Habitat loss remains the greatest threat to wildlife worldwide, especially in South America, where the Amazon rainforest is shrinking at an alarming rate. The International Union for Conservation of Nature is the global authority on the status of the natural world. Their red list of threatened species ranks species across the globe from unknown to extinct. In this episode of Wildcats, our majestic felines are labeled as either of least concern or near threatened in the wild. Over 70,000 species in the wild are considered of least concern. Meanwhile, nearly 9,000 species are currently labeled as near threatened, meaning that they are likely to qualify for a threatened category in the near future. Using this list, we will find out what pressures these wildcats face, while also revealing all there is to know about these fascinating and fierce felines of the Americas. Deep in the boreal forests of the Northern Hemisphere lives the most common wildcat in North America. A medium-sized feline with a furry coat and tufted ears. This is the bobcat. With an estimated population of up to 3.6 million, bobcats can be found anywhere from southern Canada through most of the contiguous U.S. to Oaxaca in Mexico. They inhabit all 48 neighboring states in the U.S., bar Delaware. Often mistaken for domestic cats or stray kittens, bobcats are the smallest of the lynx species, but are the most widespread of their fellow family members. Small but deadly, the bobcat boasts a bite force of 548 newtons. That's stronger than a dog's or a coyote's. They have long, sharp canines that can grab and grip small mammals such as raccoons and squirrels. They are masters of the hunt, having perfected their stalk and ambush tactics. Silent in the snow, bobcats will place their back feet in the same spots where their front feet have stepped to reduce noise. Their furry paws further mask their steps, enhancing their ability to sneak up on prey. They also provide them with traction to help navigate often challenging terrains. While able to sprint to speeds of up to 30 kilometers per hour, when snowfall is heavy, they opt to hide behind tree stumps and boulders. Before pouncing on unsuspecting prey, from pigs, beavers, rabbits and hares, rodents, or in some cases deer, bobcats stalk their prey with unparalleled patience, often traveling up to 11 kilometers in an evening while hunting and patrolling their territory. Masters of camouflage and stealth, they use their environment to their advantage. Hiding in plain sight, they are an unseen and highly skilled predator who, unlike many cats, are unafraid of the water. Here, a bobcat waits patiently above. It can almost taste tonight's meal on its lips. The bobcat strikes, successfully subduing its unsuspecting victim. By keeping the duck underwater with its fierce bite, it never stood a chance against this lethal and highly skilled assassin. This bobcat too is poised in anticipation of the right moment to strike. The bobcat's ability to dart at its prey with unparalleled speed makes it an efficient and highly successful killer. Bobcats are equipped with hearing that allows them to locate rodents rummaging under the snow. No prey is exempt from the ferocity of the bobcat. Able to leap distances over 3 meters, no distance is too high or too far. Soaring through the air, they can traverse the most challenging of terrains with ease and hunt the trickiest of prey.
As a medium-sized cat only weighing up to 18 kilograms, they must remain alert as the bobcat is the prey of many predators. In the North American forests and tundras, pumas, foxes, owls, and wolves lurk, all equally capable of taking down an unsuspecting bobcat. Owls can swoop from above, using their claws to grasp this feline. While a pack of wolves can track its scent, staying silent and hidden in the foliage of the boreal forests. When feasting on prey, bobcats will remain vigilant of larger predators who may try to steal their meal. A seemingly easy prey only measuring up to 1.2 meters in length and being of a largely solitary nature, the bobcat must always be on the lookout if it is to avoid these large and tactful predators. Animal predators are not the only challenge bobcats face in the wild. As solitary and far-ranging mammals, interactions between humans and bobcats are rare. Yet humans are the bobcat's largest threat. Bobcats require large areas of interconnected land to thrive. But land development, overhunting, and trapping bobcats for their fur have led to a decline in their population. The IUCN has labeled these felines of least concern. While the bobcat population has increased since the 1990s with an estimated 3.6 million in the wild, hunting of bobcats remains legal in 38 U.S. states and 7 Canadian provinces. It has a damaging effect on the population of this wild cat. With bobcat pelts being sold for up to $150,000 US, they are one of the biggest prizes for fur trappers. Luckily, bobcats tend to avoid humans where possible. With their solitary nature and far-ranging demographic, for now, the bobcat will continue to thrive. As the sun reflects off the white tips of the Rocky Mountains, pronghorns navigate the rugged slopes, and foxes play in the blankets of snow. High up on these treacherous plains roams a wildcat on the hunt for unsuspecting prey. It goes by many names, from mountain lion to cougar to the puma. Occupying the most extensive range of any animal in the Americas, the puma can be found traversing the snowy peaks of the Canadian Yukon to the most extended mountain range in South America, the Andes. Proving adaptable to every environment they encounter, the puma is prepared for the coldest of tundras and the labyrinths of America's forests. Armed with retractable claws in their front paws, pumas are fearsome predators. Proportionately, they have the largest back legs of any of the cat family, granting them with enhanced climbing and running abilities. They can even leap effortlessly over the challenging mountain terrain they inhabit. With acute hearing and excellent vision, they aim to seek out rabbits or coyotes. Deer are ideal, but beavers or raccoons will do. Blending expertly in with the dense snow-covered underbrush, a puma is on the hunt for food. In the never-ending blanket of white, poking up from the snow-covered floor is two twitching ears. Indecipherable to the human eye, but just enough movement for the puma to know who its next meal will be. It's an Arctic rabbit, and it knows it's been spotted. The puma tenses, ready to attack. The chase is on. Running at speeds of up to 80 kilometers per hour, the puma quickly shifts its 2.4-meter-long body. With over 100 kilograms of pure muscle, it quickly closes the distance. With a bite force of 724.6 pounds per square inch, the puma delivers a fatal blow. Dinner is served. Young males can travel across thousands of kilometers to find a territory unclaimed by their older male counterparts. From the Yukon in Canada to the southern Andes in South America. Reluctantly, they will swim through bodies of water to make this epic pilgrimage. But they are more likely to be found in the treetops above. Advanced climbers. Up high is the perfect cover from bigger predators like jaguars and bears that sometimes share their habitat. Pumas will eat any animal they can find, from small insects to large game. They are as picky as they are greedy, opting to maximize their feasts by hiding their prey from other mountain carnivores. Able to drag carcasses several times their own weight, they hide their prey in rocky crevices or caves, returning periodically over several days to enjoy their well-earned snack. Pumas are incredibly territorial. Like most felines, they are solitary creatures. For female pumas, however, there are 2-year periods throughout their lives when they are not alone. Parenting is left solely to the females of the puma species. They are fiercely protective of their cubs, who are born with distinctive spots on their coats. The young stay with their mothers for around 18 months, receiving intensive survival skills training, along with the guarantee of protection and food. When ready, they will strike out into the world on their own to lead the solitary life of an adult puma. When on the prowl for prey, pumas prefer dense vegetation or rocky cover to launch ambush attacks. This puma is lurking in the underbrush of a coniferous forest. In the open patches of grass, a doe and her fawn graze. In the flowing rivers, a herd of large reindeer are bathing. Will this puma go for the easier or more challenging prey? Deer can run up to 56 kilometers per hour, making them a nimble and fast foe. But the reindeer is perhaps a more difficult feat, weighing almost double that of the puma at 180 kilograms. Accompanied by an inexperienced fawn rather than a herd of imposing reindeer, the puma has made his decision. Creeping out from under the underbrush, he stalks towards the pair of deer. But he has not been stealthy enough. The fawn has spotted him, alerting his mother. This was the risk he was willing to take, as the duo dart off at a rapid pace. The puma narrowly missed out on a sumptuous meal. Mysterious creatures. The puma's exact population is widely speculated. While hunted as pests in some areas, their large range and ability to adapt to most terrains has them labeled as of least concern by the IUCN. Despite their widespread demographic, there remain several threats to the puma population. Over the years, they have been challenged by the loss of prey and habitat and intentional persecution. Many farmers and livestock ranchers hunt pumas to protect their farm animals. While this helps increase deer and elk populations, it has damaging effects on America's population of pumas. Pumas are highly intelligent creatures who, in light of increased hunting efforts, have adapted to avoid humans where possible. But if confronted by humans, they will attack them as prey rather than in defense. Thus, humans have been advised by the Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife to not venture into areas where pumas are common. Territorial creatures with killer instincts, it is best to leave pumas to their solitary ways of life, so humans and pumas alike can continue to thrive in their own habitats. Whether that be in the Canadian Yukon, the Rocky Mountain National Park, or the southern Andes of South America. on the vast continents of the Americas. Not all wildcats are big cats. In fact, they are more likely to be small cats. Across North America, there are an estimated 60 million feral cats. Previously domesticated cats, America has one of the largest free-roaming cat populations in the world. Feral cats. There has been little effort to control the population, and with cats' ability to reproduce quickly, their population has grown rapidly. Conservationists have called this issue one of the most serious conservation crises in North America, with this flourishing population killing or harming up to 2 billion birds, mammals, and reptiles each year. They are skilled small assassins. With corneas and pupils 50% larger than the average human, cats can see infinitely better in the dark. And this is the prime time for a cat to go on the hunt. Hidden in the foliage of a forest, this cat has spotted a rodent nesting in the grass. Cats can reach sprinting speeds of up to 48 kilometers per hour and can leap over 1.5 meters in distance. Armed with sharp teeth, piercing claws, and a bite force of 70 pounds per square inch, they can stalk and ambush their prey with stealth and efficiency. This rodent, however, is a nimble one. Having spotted the incoming predator, it's making a run for it. And it has succeeded, disappearing into the brush and leaving this cat without dinner for tonight. This feral cat will wait until tomorrow before it goes on the hunt again. In the early morning sun, this hungry feral cat is on the prowl for food. This tabby feline is eager to have this rodent for breakfast. Rustling through this cave with its paws, it hopes to draw this rodent out of its den. She is relentless in her attempts, as she uses her head and paws to try to locate this rodent, who cleverly has decided to burrow underground. Sadly, her efforts have been futile. Changing tactics, a tiny frog may be a better choice. Nimble amphibians, this hunt will take time and patience. But it seems too much for this feline, who has given up on the hunt. Feral cats come in all shapes and sizes, measuring up to 46 centimeters in length. These furry felines are graceful and agile. Having become one with nature, they are playful creatures with a cunning streak that has helped them adapt to the forest they now call home. Climbing trees with ease, finding allies and enemies amongst their booming population. And always on the hunt for food. No matter how big or small their prey may be. These are the feral cats of North America. A sea of green spanning 6.7 million kilometers squared across 9 countries, home to more than 30 million people, and 1 in 10 of the Earth's known species. This is the Amazon rainforest, the last refuge of the ethereal and majestic jaguar. Jaguars once boasted a population that sprawled from the southwest US to the far north of Argentina. Now the jaguar has found a singular stronghold in the depths of the Amazon rainforest that stretches to the Pantanal. The third biggest cat in the world, after the tiger and the lion. The jaguar is the largest cat in the Americas, growing up to 1.8 meters in length. Not including its tail, which alone can measure up to 80 centimeters. A male jaguar can weigh 120 kilograms. The heaviest jaguars tending to live in the Pantanal, the world's largest tropical wetland. Their bulk is needed to take on big prey, such as the giant caiman, the largest species of the family Alligatoridae. Not only do jaguars have the most powerful bite of any big cat, boasting a force of 1,500 pounds per square inch, but teeth strong enough to bite through the thick hides of crocodilians and the hard shells of turtles. They are also extremely talented swimmers, making a battle with the caiman an almost fair fight. During the region's dry season, animals like caimans are the perfect meal for the jaguar. But hunting the largest prey possible can be a challenge. This jaguar's eyes are too big for his belly. Unable to pin down a black caiman, he goes for a more realistic prey. Digging along the banks of the river, this jaguar has a plan as he searches for an unguarded and defenseless baby caiman. And he is successful. Perhaps not as filling as a 4-meter-long black caiman, but it will sate his hunger for now. Jaguars do not just feast on caimans, but a plethora of different prey. Opportunistic hunters, they'll prey on almost anything they can sink their teeth into. From deer, tortoises, and iguanas, to fish, birds, and monkeys. Jaguars can even be found feasting on plants and fruits. This jaguar is using its unparalleled stealth to sneak up on a herd of capybaras, South America's largest rodent. The coloring of this wildcat's coat makes it practically invisible, striking with speed that can reach up to 80 kilometers per hour. Yet these nimble capybaras evade the jaguar's advances. Further down the river, he tries again. Once more, they elude this mighty predator. The jaguar will have to settle for the bones of someone else's prey, easily shooing away a wake of vultures to snack on the carcass of a long-dead bovine. Both diurnal and nocturnal hunters, jaguars will travel up to 10 kilometers when on the prowl for food. The word jaguar comes from the indigenous word jaguar, which means he who kills with one leap. Able to jump up to distances of over 6 meters and armed with a ferocious bite, jaguars are expert killers. Stalk and ambush predators, they often position themselves high up in the trees. Commonly mistaken for leopards, their coats boast distinct circular markings, which unlike leopards have black dots in the middle of their rosettes. Their coats provide the perfect camouflage from unsuspecting prey, merging seamlessly with the foliage of the Amazon rainforest. Their coats work with the shadows to make them practically invisible to the naked eye. The jaguar is perfectly adapted to the sprawling jungles of Amazonia. Jaguars are the most advanced swimmers of the wildcat population. Found wading through swamps and rivers, with a large percentage of their prey being aquatic creatures, this is an advantageous adaptation. Around these water holes, a jaguar may also find a mate. While incredibly solitary creatures, they will break their habits when in search of a partner. Their deep roars can be heard throughout the rainforest, as males and females alike engage in a ritual of call and response. When they do come together to procreate, they can mate up to 100 times in a single day, to ensure that copulation will be successful. After mating, the male and female part ways, returning to their individual lives. The female will be pregnant for up to 110 days before giving birth to up to 4 cubs. Jaguar cubs only weigh up to 2 pounds, and their eyes remain closed for the first 2 weeks of life. Their coloration is the same as that of an adult jaguar, except in the case of those born with black coats, of which there are less than 10%. These rare cats are what the world knows as black panthers. Black panthers are even more skilled in the art of camouflage than their tawny-colored brothers and sisters. After 18 months, the cubs will leave their mother to begin the solitary life of an adult jaguar. Despite their countless adaptations for survival, the jaguar has been labeled near threatened by the IUCN. Jaguars used to be found anywhere from the southwest US, throughout South America, to almost the far north of Argentina. Now they've been virtually eliminated from half their historic range. With only 173,000 jaguars left in the world today, it is believed their stronghold is within the Amazon rainforest and Pantanal of Brazil, which are estimated to hold half of the wild jaguar population. But since 1998, humans have destroyed an area of the Amazon rainforest roughly the size of Texas and New Mexico combined. With a further 200,000 acres being destroyed every day. This is down to deforestation both for logging and to clear space for cattle ranching. This has resulted in many threats for the jaguar, from the loss of their home to isolating their populations, making breeding infinitely harder. Their shrinking habitats also mean jaguars' prey is reduced, leading to many jaguars hunting livestock and being killed by humans in turn. Like many wildcats on Earth, they are vulnerable to poaching despite it being illegal. Demand for their skin has declined since the mid-1970s, but their paws and teeth are still widely sought after. The Amazon rainforest is the jaguar's last refuge, and to bring them back from the brink of becoming endangered, more will need to be done to ensure the protection of the world's largest rainforest. Home to not only jaguars, but 3 million species of plants, fungi, and animals. From beetles and spiders to anacondas, alligators, and monkeys. With more and more conservation efforts prevailing and awareness being spread across all media platforms, there is hope that this vibrant ecosystem can be sustained and the vast biodiversity of the Amazon rainforest can flourish and grow. As the sun begins to set behind the mountains of the Canadian Yukon, and darkness has fallen on the Amazon rainforest, many an animal will lay down its head for the night, while others will have just awoken, readying themselves for a night on the prowl. The animal kingdom is one that never sleeps. Many will find success in the shadows, while others will fall prey to the sharp teeth and powerful jaws of these menacing wildcats. The circle of life is eternal. Asia, home to over half the human population. It's the largest of the world's continents, covering 30% of the Earth's land area. From the rocky slopes of the Caucasus Mountains to the waves that lap the shores of Borneo. Asia is home to some of the most biologically diverse countries in the world, with India alone housing over 90,000 different animal species. Across these 48 nations live the most wildcats in the world. Uncover the unique environments they have conquered, the ways in which they have expertly adapted to their surroundings, and the challenges they face in their epic fight for survival. Join us on a journey of discovery through the vast mountains and jungles of Asia as we face some of the deadliest apex predators on the planet. This is Wildcats, Asia. Spanning nearly 45 million kilometers squared, the continent of Asia is vastly diverse in both landscape and wildlife. From snowy peaks and frozen tundras, to luscious jungles and breathtaking beaches. Some of the world's most rare, wondrous, and fearsome creatures lurk in these many habitats. In the sanctuary of the Gir Forest, you will find the last remaining Asiatic lions on the planet. On the icy mountains, you would be lucky to spot a snow leopard who hides seamlessly in the high altitudes of the snowy Himalaya region. Fond of slightly warmer climates, the tigers of Asia tend to be found in rainforests, grasslands, and even mangrove swamps. While all perfectly adapted to their preferred environments in size, strength, speed, and bite force, they remain threatened by the effects of climate change and human expansion and intervention. In Asia, the two main drivers of biodiversity loss are hunting and trade, alongside increased habitat destruction. The International Union for Conservation of Nature is the global authority on the status of the natural world. Their red list of threatened species ranks animals across the globe from unknown to extinct. In this episode of Wildcats, our majestic felines are labeled as either vulnerable or endangered in the wild. Over 16,000 species are considered vulnerable. Sadly, a further 16,000 species are ranked as endangered, with a population decline in the last decade of 50 to 70%. Using this list, we will find out what pressures these wildcats face, while also revealing all there is to know about these fascinating and fierce felines of Asia. Over 1,410 kilometers squared, on the western coast of India, sits the beautiful and sprawling Gir National Park. Home to over 2,000 species of mammals, birds, insects, and reptiles. The Gir National Park is also the sanctuary to the entirety of the world's population of the Asiatic lion. Asiatic lions used to range from Turkey, across Asia, to eastern India. But the rise of firearms across the world meant that they were hunted to near extinction for sport. Thankfully, in 1965, the Gir National Park and Sanctuary was established and was able to bring Asiatic lions back from the brink of extinction. Living in an environment that resembles the savannahs, forests, and deserts they once called home, Asiatic lions now have a population of over 600 individuals, who largely live in the protected park area of Gir National Park and Sanctuary, where they can hunt, play, and procreate. The sun has just risen over the western coast of India. And with it, the inhabitants of Gir National Park are starting to awaken. Nestled in the province of Gujarat, the Gir National Park is a semi-arid region, home to leopards and antelopes, vultures and pythons. And in the Kamleshwar Dam thrive marsh crocodiles, Indian skimmers, and pelicans. Prides of lions lounge in the dry deciduous forests. Cubs roll on the dusty forest floor, perfectly at home in their environment. They merge seamlessly into their surroundings, their sandy coats providing the perfect camouflage as they slumber in the shade to avoid the blistering heat of the Indian climate. These lions live closely alongside humans in their last remaining natural habitat, including the Maldhari, who live within the Gir forest, a herdsman community who have lived there for centuries with their cattle and buffalo. Some of the Asiatic lion population of Gir live outside the protected areas, living amongst local communities in the surrounding farmland and hills. A far cry from their ancestors who were endlessly hunted by humans. Many cubs reside within the prides of Asiatic lions in Gir National Park, a clear sign of the success of the conservation efforts being carried out here. These cubs will grow into adult lions, weighing up to 190 kilograms and measuring up to 2.5 meters in length. Looking similar, but not identical to their African cousins. The Asiatic lion is smaller than African lions, and their manes are considerably different, with a relatively short, sparse, and darker mane compared to the full mane of the African lion. As a result, the male Asiatic lion's ears tend to remain visible at all times. The most distinguishing characteristic of the Asiatic lion is the longitudinal fold of skin that runs along its belly. This is absent in African lions. The Asiatic lion's loose belly skin is a perfect defense mechanism, an adaptation for their protection as it allows these lions to be kicked by prey with little chance of injury. Asiatic lions also boast a fierce bite force of 650 pounds per square inch. Ideal in their environment, as they share their habitat with many cattle and buffalo, who are armed with strong legs, powerful hoofs, and thick hides. The Asiatic lion's diet is made up of both large and small mammal prey, such as deer, wild boar, and antelope. The species has also been known to feed on domestic cattle. Here, a lioness and her cubs feed on the corpse of their latest kill. Meanwhile, another group of cubs are snacking on the remaining meat of a half-eaten carcass. The parenting of Asiatic lion cubs is not dissimilar to that of their African cousins. The mother will raise her cubs, hunting for them and teaching them how to survive in the wild. She will make sure they are strong, healthy, and well-fed. Once grown, they will be able to run up to speeds of 60 miles per hour and will have learned all the skills required to be the perfect ambush predator. Males reach sexual maturity at around 5 years and females at 4, meaning they can begin to procreate. Mating for lions is not seasonal and takes place year-round. The male will begin by gently stroking the female with his tongue on her shoulder, neck, or back. During the copulation, the female may purr loudly, and towards the end, he may gently bite the back of her neck. The pair usually mates for less than a minute, but do so every 15 to 30 minutes over 4 to 5 days to ensure success. While both sexes are polygamous, females are usually restricted to the 1 or 2 adult males of their pride. In many instances, prides of lions have synchronized their breeding so that they can raise their cubs communally. The gestation period can last up to 119 days, after which 6 cubs can be born. but 1 to 3 is more usual. And having a group of lionesses to help raise one another's cubs is the perfect arrangement for these many prides of Asiatic lions. This pride of lionesses are on the lookout, marking their territory as they go, urinating on the roadside. They are hoping to come across some prey to feed their pride and cubs. Hunting in numbers is the safest bet for these skilled killers, as it means they can take down prey larger than them, that can weigh up to almost double the size of a lioness. Using their sharp claws and powerful teeth, these lionesses are able to successfully take down and suffocate this elephant. A triumphant hunt, and the perfect meal to sate the hunger of their pride. Despite Gir National Park's best efforts to protect these magnificent creatures, Asiatic lions remain endangered. Poaching still remains a pressing issue for the Asiatic lion. Along with habitat fragmentation, 3 major roads and a railway track pass through the Gir protected area, along with 3 big temples that become particularly busy during certain times of the year. At least 200 lions roam outside the protected area, and while the conflict with humans is not high now, there is a possibility of this changing in the future. A large threat the Asiatic lion faces is genetic inbreeding arising from a single population in one place. Inbreeding can lead to high levels of stillbirths and infant mortality. Along with the lack of genetic variation, Asiatic lions are vulnerable to new disease and struggle to evolve in response to changing environmental variables. Meaning once again they may face an increased risk of extinction. And bringing in other lions may not be the answer, as past studies have shown that this has been catastrophic to the native populations of other species. The solution is not a clear one. But for now, growing the Asiatic lion population and helping protect them from poaching and habitat fragmentation is the best route to keeping these majestic creatures from ever facing the brink of extinction again. Over 1,400 kilometers away from the Gir National Park, up to 29,000 feet in elevation, in the coldest climates of the continent of Asia, are the vast and towering peaks of the Himalayas. Snowflakes glisten in the wind before becoming a never-ending blanket of snow. In this sprawling Arctic terrain, you would be lucky to spot this magnificent wildcat, the snow leopard. In Nepal, There is a saying that it is more difficult to see a snow leopard than it is to see God. With a population fewer than 4,000 in the wild, they are a rare find in the adverse and challenging terrains they inhabit. Snow leopards are highly adapted to their homes in the cold, high mountains. Their thick fur is patterned with dark rosettes and spots, making it the perfect camouflage for them, and granting them with an unparalleled ability to stalk their prey unseen. Snow leopards are relatively small wild cats, weighing up to 54 kilograms. But they can measure up to 2.1 meters. Their long form making them agile hunters and effective killers. Able to take down prey up to 4 times their body weight. Snow leopards will happily consume birds or hares, but prefer the challenge of taking down an ibex or a markhor. Stalking and ambushing prey from above is the favored form of attack for the snow leopard. This one is using its fur against the rocky terrain to hide its approach. Its large, furry paws act as silencers, while its long, fluffy tail provides it with perfect balance, further disguising it from its prey. 100 pounds per square inch. It only takes 2 precise and powerful bites to the prey's hind to ensure a meal for dinner. Snow leopards' canines are more slender than those of other Panthera species. They can reach over an inch in length and are perfect for piercing through fur and flesh to devour their prey. Snow leopards eat slowly, usually taking 3 to 4 days to consume a prey animal. During that time, this secretive feline will remain near the kill site, lurking in the crevices and caves of the Rocky Mountains, ready to defend their meal from scavengers such as vultures and ravens. Snow leopards will snack on the carcass every few hours until it's bare. This eating schedule allows them to only have to hunt a large animal every 8 to 10 days, but also conserve their energy, allowing them to survive in the frozen climates they inhabit. In the warmer months, as the snow melts and the forests of the mountains come to life, the snow leopard easily adapts. Its dark gray fur takes on a yellowish hue, its speckled coat blending in with the shadows cast by leaves and branches, becoming harder to distinguish in the bright reflective light. This allows it to hunt easily amongst the foliage and shrubs of the foothills. Solitary creatures, snow leopards mark their territory to warn off those of the same sex. This same scent, however, is used to entice those of the opposite sex, encouraging them to join them on their patch of land to mate. But a snow leopard will not be found in the same spot twice, sleeping in different locations every night. They are constantly on the move, most traveling up to 40 kilometers in a single night across the mountain regions they inhabit. One snow leopard has been documented to have migrated over 603 kilometers. Traversing anywhere from Afghanistan to China and Russia to Nepal. So if a potential mate is interested, they must act fast. And these aloof and silent creatures do not hang about for long. For millennia, snow leopards were the kings and queens of the mountains. But their population is on a rapid decline. With their habitats shrinking due to human settlements and grazing, this once magnificently widespread creature is now reported to have less than 4 to decline a further 10% in the next 20 years. Despite having a range that covers close to 2 million square miles, they are labeled as vulnerable by the IUCN. The sole predator of the mighty snow leopard are humans. Hunting, habitat loss, prey decline, and retaliatory killings resulting from human-wildlife conflict are some of the many reasons this wildcat is under threat. The most significant impact they face, however, is the climate crisis. Threatening their chances of survival as global temperatures rise. This is affecting the productivity of the habitats they live in, which in turn has impacted prey and freshwater availability in the harsh, mountainous environment they call home. According to the Worldwide Fund for Nature, snow leopards play a crucial role as a top predator. They are an indicator of the health of their high-altitude habitat and are an increasingly important indicator of the impacts of climate change on mountain environments. If snow leopards thrive, so will countless other species, and the mountains they call home. The continent of Asia is home to most of the world's wildcats, the majority of them being beautiful and beguiling small cats. There are the clouded leopards that dwell in the cloud forests of Southeast Asia. They are one of the most ancient cat species on the planet, covered head to toe in large, blotchy, cloud-like markings. They can be found lounging on large tree branches or rustling around in the undergrowth of the forest floor. There are the uniquely furry Polysus cats, who can be found anywhere from Turkmenistan through Russia and across China. Fond of the cold Asian steppes, these fluffy felines can be found dozing on rocks or roaming through grassy fields. But on the water's edge is where you will find one of the nocturnal felines of southern Asia, the highly skilled and elusive fishing cat. Perhaps one of the most unique cats on the Asian continent, the fishing cat can often be found roaming in the night. They are perfectly adapted to their proximity to water and their taste for fish. Their front feet are partially webbed, and their claw tips protrude from their sheaths even when retracted. Perfect for scooping fish out of the water with their paws. Their most unique adaptation, however, is the layered structure of their fur. Next to their skin lies a layer of short hair so dense that water cannot penetrate it. Like snug thermal fitting underwear, this helps keep the fishing cat warm and dry, even during chilly fishing expeditions. Fishing cats also enjoy amphibians, capturing them in their paws before delivering a fatal blow with their teeth. But they must remain aloof if they are to sneak up on the fish in the water. Silence is key to not alert the fish of its presence, or else it could easily slip out of their grasp. This fishing cat has its eyes set on a small fish in a stream, soundlessly prowling towards the body of water. The fishing cat pounces, holding its prey down with one paw. Water sprays as the fish tries to get out of its grip. But it is to no avail. This fish has taken its last breath. After all, they're called fishing cats for a reason. From the humid rainforests of Thailand to the coastal mangrove swamps of India lives the deity of many faiths. And the largest of all the wildcats on the planet. The tiger. While found in 13 countries across Asia, India is home to 80% of the world's tiger population. With an estimated 2,967 felines roaming India's vast jungles, nature reserves, mangroves, and grasslands. As the sun shines on the jungles of Asia, the largest wildcat of them all is on the prowl. Despite its distinctive coat, boasting dark, vertical stripes on orange fur, the tiger becomes one with the jungle. His padded paws allow him to stealthily traverse across the uneven terrain of the jungle floor. Just a few miles ahead, a herd of deer are grazing. Relying on safety in numbers, they remain blissfully unaware of the incoming threat. Peering through the leafy shrubs, the tiger has spotted the herd of deer. In preparation, the tiger flexes his jaw, which holds a bite force of up to 1,050 pounds per square inch. he sharpens his claws on a nearby tree. These deadly weapons are integral for a successful hunt. Edging closer and closer, he must wait for the perfect moment to attack. Suddenly, his back legs arch, propelling his 310-kilogram body through the air. With unparalleled precision, he lands on the hind of an unsuspecting deer. The herd has scattered, but the tiger has honed in on its prey. The deer writhes against its foe. But it is to no avail. It is a fatal blow. Master hunters. Tigers are the kings and queens of the jungle. Largest of any wildcat on the planet. They can measure up to 3.9 meters in length. The largest tiger on record was a Siberian tiger, weighing over 400 kilograms and measuring over 3 meters in length. That's the same weight as a grand piano, and only a few meters shorter than a giraffe's height. Tigers are skilled in the art of combat, able to reach speeds of up to 65 kilometers per hour, and are armed with sharp teeth, piercing claws, and unparalleled brute force. Yet, when a tiger dares lay foot on another's territory, violence is a last resort. Instead, they use intimidation tactics, growling at the offending male, baring their teeth, and standing their ground. Armed with menacing and sharp carnassial teeth, their shows of intimidation are not for the faint-hearted. But if this is not enough to scare away an offending male, they must engage in battle to protect their land. With jaws designed to deliver a strong and hard bite, and claws that hold a swipe force of 10,000 pounds, these altercations can be deadly. If a tiger is to avoid an early grave, they must roll onto their back as a sign of submission, accept defeat, and walk away. Tigers are apex predators with a taste for deer and bovids. While mostly nocturnal creatures, they have been observed during the day hunting alone. They stalk their prey and will only engage from a short distance. If spotted, a tiger will disengage from the hunt. Rather than chasing its prey down or attacking head-on, the tiger prefers to have the element of surprise. This method means that a single tiger can take down water buffaloes weighing over 2,200 pounds. That's almost 7 times the tiger's body weight. The tiger's perfected hunting tactics allow them to ambush their prey from behind. This deer stands little chance, as this tiger clamps its jaws around its neck, piercing through flesh, and suffocating its prey until it lies, lifeless in its jaws. Tigers live largely solitary lives. Females have been observed socializing with other tigers of the same sex. But males prefer to be alone, only interacting with others when it is time to procreate. In Ranthambore National Park, India, a restless female ventures out of her territory. She is hoping to entice a potential mate. Every 3 to 9 weeks, a female tiger may enter estrus, meaning not only is she willing to mate, but she is also capable of conceiving young. But this mood will not last forever. With her only being receptive for 3 to 6 days, if she hopes to find a partner in this window, she must advertise her need to mate. She does this by spraying urine and scraping trees, so that any potential males in neighboring territories can find her. This female's hard work has been successful. A male tiger has caught her scent and is crossing into her territory. Naturally, the female is cautious. Male tigers tend to be almost 100 kilograms heavier than their female counterparts. If a fight ensues, he automatically has the upper hand. But she was not to worry, as he immediately makes his intentions clear. He courts her by following closely, before they circle each other and vocalize their agreement through growls, roars, chuffs, and moans. They begin the mating ritual by the female lying in front of the male. They touch whiskers and nibble at one another before he mounts her. Their matings will be short and brief, but repeated frequently over the next 5 to 6 days. The act of mating makes the female fertile, so this method will ensure she conceives. As polygamous creatures, at the end of the mating period, they will part ways, unlikely to cross paths ever again. Once upon a time, the mighty tigers of the world ranged from eastern Turkey to the islands of Indonesia. In present day, they have lost 95% of their historical range. Their habitats have been destroyed, degraded, and fragmented by human activities, leading to 80% of their population residing in India alone. This effect on their habitats has also led to a decline in their population, resulting in the IUCN labeling them as endangered. Poaching is the most immediate threat to wild tigers. Every part of the tiger, from the whiskers to the tail, has been found in illegal wildlife markets. Their bones are used for folk remedies and tonics, while their skins are sought after as a status symbol among some cultures. The impact from the death of a single tiger is detrimental to the already shrinking tiger population. If a female tiger with cubs is killed, her cubs will most likely die without their mother. If a male is killed, his death can result in intense competition for his territory among surviving males in the population, more likely than not, ending in severe injury or death. The circle of life is delicately interwoven, and senseless attacks on animals such as tigers irrevocably damage these fragile ecosystems. But it is not only the tigers in the wild that face unprecedented challenges, but the 8,000 tigers being held captive across Asia in inhumane conditions, and the further 5,000 tigers in captivity or private ownership in the US, whose population is not regulated or protected. All animals deserve to roam free and to not live in fear. It is not only about saving the beautiful tiger, but protecting the fragile, majestic, and important ecosystems they uphold. as the sun begins to set on the mangroves of India, and darkness has fallen on the snowy peaks of the Himalayas. Many an animal will lay its head down to rest for the night, while others will have just awoken, readying themselves for a night on the prowl. The animal kingdom is one that never sleeps. Many will find success under the moonlight, while others will fall prey to the sharp teeth and powerful jaws of these menacing wildcats. The circle of life is eternal.